What if I told you that while diet and exercise are important for weight loss, there is a third pillar of weight loss that is backed by science? But while most people will talk about diet and exercise, they hardly ever mention the third pillar, despite the fact that without it, you'll struggle to lose weight and keep it off. In this video, I'm going to reveal what is the third pillar of weight loss, why it's so important, and how do you apply it to your life. Now, I've run a weight loss clinic for women over 40 for the last 14 years, and I use this third pillar of weight loss all the time. It's actually one of the foundations of my approach to weight loss, so I believe it's crucial to know about. But before I go into that, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard the very common weight loss advice, and you see this in comment sections online all the time? It's not rocket science, just eat less and exercise more. Most overweight people have heard this advice at least once a week. As if weight loss is as simple as just following that advice. If it was that simple, 2/3 of the population of Western countries wouldn't be overweight or obese. And yet many overweight people feel like there's something wrong with them because fixing weight gain is supposedly as simple as eat less and exercise more. But it's not, because there is a third pillar that most people do not talk about. In fact, if we look at the science-backed medical guidelines for how to lose weight, we can see this third pillar mentioned as plain as day. Let's look at these now. So first we have the American Association of Clinical Endocrinologists Overweight and Obesity Guidelines, then we have the American Heart Association's Overweight and Obesity Guidelines, and finally the UK NICE Guidelines for Management of Obesity. And all three mention the first pillar, diet, the second pillar, exercise, and the third pillar, behavior change. And in the American Heart Association Guidelines, they make it clear all three components should be included. So the third pillar is behavior change. But why is behavior change the third pillar? Why is it so important? Why is it spoken in the same words as the all-important diet and exercise when it comes to how to lose weight successfully? To illustrate, let me give you an example. A client of mine, let's call her Sandra. Sandra is a very intelligent person who's reached the top of her profession as a high-powered job in a multinational company. Do you think someone like Sandra is unaware of eat less and exercise more? Of course she knows it. And yet over many years she's tried to apply eat less and exercise more in different ways, on different diets and different exercise programs. But it never worked. Why? What stopped it from working? Because every time she tried to eat less and exercise more, something kept getting in the way. What was it? Her habits. What are habits? They're behaviors that you repeat consistently without thinking about it. They're automatic, they're ingrained. We all have habits of thinking and action around food that we've been doing for years, maybe even decades. And when Sandra would go on a diet, what would happen? Her old habits are still there, but she'd have to use all her willpower to suppress them. And this would work for a short time, but not a long time. Eventually, like most people, Sandra couldn't wait to get off the diet and go back to her old habits. Sometimes she didn't even have a choice in the matter. Her old habits would just come back, especially at times when she was stressed or tired and willpower wasn't enough to hold them at bay. But once Sandra went back to old eating habits, she'd gain back the weight. So it wasn't just that she had to eat less and exercise more, but Sandra's path to success involved realizing that there was another pillar to weight loss: behavior. She had to identify and change her old eating habits. But the beauty of habits is that once changed, they can last forever. So how does this apply to your life? When you're looking for ways to lose weight, it's not enough to be told, eat this, or eat less, or do more exercise. Diet and exercise are part of the solution, but if you can't change your behavior, your underlying habits, any changes will be temporary at best. You need to change your habits. So the all-important question to ask when you're evaluating a weight loss plan is not, how do I eat less? It's, how do I make eating less a habit? This is how you tell the difference between a weight loss plan that delivers lasting weight loss and one that is just a temporary fix. And to find out more about changing habits for weight loss, watch this video next about 8 eating habits that are keeping you overweight. I'll see you there.